Okay, so tonight's ramble. A lot of things lead to better games. I'm a gamer, so I tend to think of things in the terms of gaming a lot of the time. And one of the things that makes for good gaming uh, is figuring out how to create those simulations, those emulations of scenes and formats that you like. A lot of people like doing spy stories. I like spy stories. And one of the ways you do a good spy story is learn how to read good spy stories. And there are a lot of good ones out there. LeClaire, a few others, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. There's some good movies along the lines. It really depends on what you're going to go for. A lot of people like the James Bond style stuff, and I like James Bond style stuff. It's fun. It's a blast. But my favorite stories, spy stories, are the sort of well researched, really kind of believable spy stories. Less with the crazy gadgets and the perfectly coiffed heroes and the sort of debonair adventurer types. Those are. I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of the James Bond knockoff. I don't mind the homage. Like Chuck, the show Chuck was kind of an homage. They were showing a fanciful version of spies, and I enjoyed that. But it was deliberately tongue in cheek. It was deliberately silly. Um, Spy shows with a sort of deliberate, with an aping of James Bond don't actually interest me that much. Uh, when unless they have some sort of interesting angle to take with it. The stories that I kind of love are the gritty, uh, being in espionage is kind of an ugly thing to do. It's hard work. It's bad for relationships. It's bad on the people. It, tears them up inside. And uh, one of my favorite spy series, um, as far as books go, is actually Queen and Country. And I've got one of the Queen and Country collections here, and I've got all four of these actually. They are awesome. They're by Greg Rucka, who is known for writing these really interesting, detailed, gritty, street level stories. And Queen and Country, actually, it's won an Eisner Award, so it gives you an idea of the level of quality. He changes artists throughout the series. Different runs have different artists, and the hero of the story is Tara Chase. Hero is sort of a loose term here. She's a spy, and she works for MI6, and she's the person that you send to places to fix problems. She is not the sort of stays in a deep cover for a long period of time type of spy. She is, we need to go find out what's going on here and possibly kill someone. Or multiple someones, possibly. But it's not in a impossible way. She's not unbelievably badass. She's very believably badass. And her experiences are ugly at times. She has problems with the fact that she was sent to assassinate a guy. It's one thing to kill somebody who's trying to come after you. It's another thing to patiently and calmly point a weapon at somebody and murder him with him having no chance to defend himself. And she has to do that at some point, and it bugs her. It gives her problems. She has to get help for it. You know, they lose friends over the course of the series, and uh, it is a very gritty story of espionage. And if you're looking for a good model for how to run your spy games, this is a good place to start as far as how to do it gritty. Now, if you don't want gritty, if you want the fanciful, go with the Ian Fleming, because James Bond's awesome. Or go with Chuck or something like that. Man from Uncle, or even Agents of Shield to a certain extent is kind of a spy show, though not really. Um, the but if you want gritty and you want an easy to get into story of how gritty espionage could be done, street level espionage and believable espionage, you should check out Queen and Country. Greg Rucka is also pretty well known for writing strong female leads. Stumptown is excellent, where his main character is a uh, private detective, a la the Rockford Files. Only it's a woman. He was one of the writers on Gotham City PD, which is amazing. Him and I think was it Ed Brubaker? Yeah. It's the murder mystery comic that every Batman aficionado has probably read and loves. The idea behind Gotham City PD is that it's just the cops who work in Gotham. It's just about the night shift and the day shift detectives who have to solve crimes in a city with people like the Joker and probably the worst job ever. Um, you, you you can sort of laugh at characters like Mr. Freeze when he's dealing with Batman, because Batman is always prepared, always kind of badass, always going to pull through. When he's dealing with the ordinary guy cop, it's not always going to be pretty end. People end up dead. In a lot of comics, the nameless dudes the nameless cops get slaughtered by the bad guys, by Joker and what have you. Well, imagine telling their story. So yeah, Greg Rucka was involved in that. He's also involved in one of my favorite webcomics, Lady Saber and the Ineffable Ether, or Ether, depends on how you want to pronounce it, which involves sky pirates and cowboys in an enclosed universe. And yeah, it's awesome, and you should read it. But yeah, he's one of my favorite writers. But if you want a grip on how to do sort of gritty spy fiction, Queen and Country. There are 4 volumes of the definitive edition. Definitive edition. Well, make sure. Yeah. There are 4 volumes. I've got all 4. They're awesome, and it's good reads. They're all black and white. And as you can see, and the art is excellent. The storytelling is good. Can't recommend it enough. You should check it out. And that's going to be my ramble for tonight. I have other things on my head, and I will probably do something more lengthy tomorrow, talking about those things, or the next day, or the day after that. I haven't figured it out. I've also been contacted by somebody who's interested in maybe doing an interview, and that would be cool. I think an interview would be excellent. But this has been me being sort of rambly and review-ish, and I hope you liked it. If you did, hit like, subscribe, tell me what you think, and tell me if you can think of any other good spy comics or books that you enjoyed. I have a whole list that I could come up with if I really wanted to, but I'd like to hear somebody else's. Anyway, thanks. I'll talk to you later.